Utopia of the Seas is the sixth ship in Royal Caribbean's Oasis-Class, currently sailing 3 and 4 night cruises from Port Canaveral, and today we're going to be taking a deck-by-deck tour from top to bottom of this massive cruise ship. And starting all the way at the top, we of course have on deck 14 and 15, we have the solarium, which is this entire enclosed relaxation area for adults only, and it is quite climate controlled in here, which is very nice. And before we get too far into things, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want to see all of the upcoming videos of Utopia of the Seas. And if you'd like to book your next cruise on Utopia, or any cruise ship for that matter, click the link down below in the description of this video and book your next cruise with our friends over at cruisesit.com, and it will directly support the channel. Anyways, let's continue through the solarium as we have a look at some of the hot tubs and of course the bar that we just saw a second ago. In the solarium, we'll find of course the Solarium Bistro, one of the many restaurants that we'll find here on board Utopia of the Seas. And in the elevator lobby all the way forward on deck 15 is where you'll be entering the Solarium Bistro. Skipping back outside on deck 15 though, we have the Cantilever Whirlpool, the massive hot tub that's hanging out over the side of this massive cruise ship. And unlike the previous sisters, Wonder and Utopia have the View Bar, which is found on the other side of the ship. All the other 4 original Oasis-class ships will have another hot tub here. Moving on back and up one deck, we have the Perfect Storm water slides, the orange one, which I like to call the toilet bowl. Over on the other side, you'll head down and just kind of swirl around a little bit before going down the center. And of course, the blue and yellow that are just kind of your typical water slides. Found on both sides of deck 16, we also have the casitas. These you can rent out for the day for your own little private area, your private little lounge chair. These casitas run about $200 for a port day and $500 for a sea day, which is pretty steep, but we'll move on into the Lime and Coconut Bar, and this is actually where you'll check in. If you do rent out one of those casitas for the day, that's where you'll check in and grab all your things. And here we just have an incredible look down the center of the ship with the water slides again, with the water park and pools that we'll get to later on in the video. Here we have, of course, the movie theater, or somewhat of a theater. We have the giant TV screen, really. They don't really show anything besides this, which is kind of odd. I feel like that's a missed opportunity with a giant TV screen and lots of stadium seating like this. I feel like it'd be perfect for late night movies. But moving on into the arcade, play some skee ball, claw machines, air hockey, all that kind of thing. And moving on back, we have one of my personal favorites, El Loco Fresh. Grab yourself the Mexican buffet, grab yourself quesadillas, nachos, burritos, anything you can think of, and complete the Mexican buffet themed vibe at Cantina Fresca and grab yourself a drink. Moving on back, as we have a little rainstorm rolled into the area here in Nassau, we have the mini golf course with a really cool underwater theming to it. Thought that was kind of neat. We also have a cool little lighthouse. This is the Utopia Playscape area for the kids. So a cool little slide for them. And of course, like a little jungle gym for them to do like rock climbing, swinging, and climbing up the little netting there too. Pretty neat. And of course, not to be missed, we have the Ultimate Abyss. Test your thrills as you go from deck 16 all the way down to deck number 6 down on the boardwalk. We'll get to in just a little bit to show you where it lets out. As of right now, it is the tallest dry slide at sea, although Royal and MSC like to exchange blows, taking that record back and forth from each other, so we'll see how long that stands. Here we have the Wipeout Bar, though. Grab yourself a drink, hang out, watch some people wipe out over on the Flow Riders. Over to our left-hand side here. Only one here on Utopia and the sister ship Wonder of the Seas, and they replaced the other one with that Utopia Playscape we just looked at, but the surfing simulator made its debut on Freedom all the way back in 2006, a Royal Caribbean favorite. Here we have this little table soccer type of thing if you want to play some footsie with the boys, but not look too suspicious about it. Definitely give it a shot. Here we have another look at the Flow Rider. They do have boogie boarding and stand-up surfing as well, and if you'd like your own private lesson, that does come as an offering, but at an upcharge. Turning around, though, we have the basketball court, which also doubles as a pickleball court, which is a newer trend with Royal Caribbean. During the mornings, they usually will have all the netting up as pickleball, and then basketball throughout the rest of the day. Just inside, we have the Crown Lounge, which is for the Diamond and Up members with Royal Caribbean's loyalty status. And then moving on into one of the most important parts of the ship, the Windjammer Buffet. Wash your hands before you come in here, then enjoy a wide variety of food options, whether it be Indian food that we see here, some fruit stands, burgers, hot dogs, anything you can think of really. And because this is the buffet, this is included in your cruise fare at no cost. Lots of really cool views in here as well, as you can look down the center of the ship into the boardwalk, or you can even look out to the other side, out to this ocean. And it does completely loop all the way around that deck, so you can even go over the center here where there's nothing beneath you, as the boardwalk is down below on deck number 6. Moving on out to the pool decks here on deck number 15, though, we have one of several main pools. You even have some of the day beds that are inside the water, which is pretty neat. Stadium seating as well to look at the random things that are being shown on the TV screen. And then grab yourself an ice cream cone, cool off on a hot summer day here on Utopia of the Seas at Sprinkles. If you're cruising with the young ones, take them up to Splash H2O, the kids' water park here on board Utopia of the Seas. They have a big drench bucket, little obstacle course, lots of fountains spraying them with water, and even a tiny little slide there. Speaking of cruising with young ones, if you want to get away from them for just a little bit, whether it be for specialty dining or just a little peace and quiet, take them over to Adventure Ocean. This is the kids' club here on board Utopia of the Seas, and you'll even find the Royal Escape Room here as well. And this is the forward elevator lobby on deck number 14, where you'll find this. Skipping down to 12, in the rear elevator lobby, we have Giovanni's Italian Kitchen, one of my personal favorites, and a brand new location here for Utopia. Couldn't go in as they were actually serving lunch at the time of filming this, so I didn't want to disrupt anybody's specialty dining experience. But yeah, brand new location, and there even is a section that hangs out over the boardwalk. Moving on down to the music hall, this is where you'll find the nightclub. This does span decks 9 and 8, so up here on 9 there is a lot of seating and even a bar and some pool up here, and then down on 8 is where you'll find the actual dance floor. Moving on into one of the main neighborhoods here on board Utopia of the Seas, Central Park here on deck 8 midship. There are over 3,000 live plants here inside Central Park throughout this portion of the ship, so these are all real plants that you see here. As we start making our way to our first specialty restaurant that we find here is 150 Central Park. And right in the middle, we have the entrance, or the top entrance, for the Rising Tide Bar. This bar will actually go from deck number 8, where we're at now, and lower itself like an elevator all the way down to deck number 5 into the Royal Promenade. Chops Grill on the other end here is going to be the specialty steakhouse on board. Fantastic. Didn't try it this cruise, but I have had it in the past. There is even an outdoor seating option in here, and don't even worry about the weather because there are actually glass panels on the top here, so even on a rainy day like today, no issues. But moving on into the middle of Central Park, we have the Trellis Bar. Grab yourself a little espresso martini and enjoy the vibes here inside Central Park. More greenery as we continue to make our way through the beautiful Central Park here on board Utopia of the Seas, as we begin to make our way into one of the Oasis-Class favorites, Park Cafe. Grab yourself lunch here in Park Cafe, and you're even open for breakfast. You can grab yourself some beef sandwiches, salads, even some things like cookies and other desserts. Park Cafe is a great, great spot here on board Utopia. Izumi in the Park is a specialty, almost like a to-go window for Izumi, the hibachi restaurant. Grab yourself some chicken, dumplings, and all sorts of things, even some ice cream, which is pretty cool. As mentioned, it is a specialty option, so it is going to cost usually about $8 to $10 for anything on the menu here. And of course, Izumi Hibachi, this is where they'll make the food in front of you, have the little show where they're doing all sorts of stuff with the food. But I definitely highly recommend it. I always love hibachi. I just didn't try it on this cruise. And on every Oasis-Class ship, there's always that little medallion there right in the center of Central Park as you look up towards the front of the ship. Here we also have some outdoor seating for Izumi. If you don't want the hibachi experience, you just want some food, you can get that at a cheaper price and just sit outdoors here, or there's even some seating inside as well. And of course, just another look at the entrance here on the forward side of Central Park. Very, very cool and a very nice welcoming entrance, as we also have some of the luxury shops here. Vitality at Sea is deck 6 forward. This is the spa and fitness center. The fitness center is just on the other side, of course. But the spa here on board Utopia of the Seas, you can even get your hair done, your nails done, or even get yourself a nice massage. And as we look down onto deck number 5 for the Royal Promenade, here on deck 5, we're actually going to go into the jogging track first. If you want to get yourself some exercise, burn off those calories from all those drinks or all that Sorrento's pizza, come on down to deck number 5, forward, mid, or aft, where you can find yourself the jogging track that goes all the way around the ship. And there's even going to be an entrance all the way forward for the gym as well. Now moving into deck number 5, we have the Royal Promenade. Here, of course, we'll start out with Starbucks. This is where you can grab yourself some specialty coffees. And here at Bolero's, this is another place that can kind of transform into part of the nightclub as well, or at least have some live music at night. And as you can see, we also obviously have some art auctions going on here as well. And just another look at Starbucks here. You can even grab yourself a Utopia of the Seas specialty mug as well, but basically the full Starbucks menu if you enjoy Starbucks coffee. Spotlight Karaoke, test out your singing. They always seem to have this going every night here on board my cruise on Utopia, but if you like to sing karaoke, this is definitely a great spot for you. Down the center of the promenade, you'll find some of these little kiosks. Sometimes they'll even be doing t-shirt sales here or even some purses and jewelry as well. But here we have, of course, one of my personal favorites, the shop. This is the shop where you're going to find all the Royal Caribbean branded merchandise and, of course, the ship models. I am now at 100. It's just insane. On the opposite side, we'll have Solarium, which is just another one of the stores that we have here on board. This is usually like the perfume and makeup type of shop. And then, of course, another one of my favorites, Sorrento's Pizza, the free pizza, best pizza at sea, definitely. But grab yourself a slice of pizza and hang out and enjoy the vibes here on board Utopia of the Seas here in the Royal Promenade with a nice slice of pizza. Across from Sorrento's, we have the Bell and Barley. This is the Irish-themed pub that we're going to find here on board. Live music every night, and of course, again, just kind of dives into that Irish theming, which is really neat. Accessory Palace, if you want to buy yourself a purse while you're on board the ship, feel free to come in here and grab yourself a purse, I guess. Next cruise desk, spent too much time in here. Harmony of the Seas, we'll see you soon. And if you want to book your next cruise here on board the ship, but you want to use your travel agent, say at my friends over at cruisesit.com, you can definitely hit the links down in the description and you can connect with an agent and they can connect the reservations. You have a really cool look at the Pontiac that's right here in the middle of the Royal Promenade. They always have a car here on every Oasis-Class ship, it seems like. I'm not too sure how often they do this, but when I was recording this, it was really neat. They actually had a little archery thing going on right across from Cafe Promenade and the Pesky Parrot. Cafe Promenade, grab yourself some more specialty coffees. This one is actually cheaper than Starbucks and a very close, almost similar menu to Starbucks. So this one you actually do get a loyalty discount. So if you're, I believe it's Platinum or Emerald or above, you get 50% off one coffee per day, which is nice. So it's like $1.50 or something like that. Guest services, if you ever have any problems or any questions on board the cruise, come on into guest services. They'll be happy to help. And another one of my favorites is the Pesky Parrot. Try the Pain Chiller. It's very good. I really love the tropical tiki bar vibes that you get in here. And, of course, this actually made its debut here on board Utopia of the Seas, and the only other ship you're going to find this on is Allure of the Seas, and it was only added to that ship just a few months ago. But all the way in the back, on deck number 5, we're going to find the upper level of the main dining room. Main dining room is, of course, the main place you would go for dinner here on board the ship if you're looking for a free and included meal. So if you're not going to Chops or any other specialty restaurant, this is where you would come if you're not planning to go to the buffet either. And it is an absolutely massive dining room as it goes from deck number 5 all the way to deck number 3. Skipping back up to deck number 6, we actually have the Focus Photo Gallery. If you come up to one of these kiosks and tap your card against the screen here or the little reader at the bottom, you will actually be able to access all your photos. I didn't have any photos taken this cruise, so it's actually going to be blank when this goes through. But if you had any taken, they'll pull up right here and you can actually purchase them through this kiosk right there. You can even book your shore excursions at the shore excursion desk and through these same kiosks. And right across from there, we also have a Royal Caribbean favorite and also found on every single Royal Caribbean ship, the Schooner Bar. You can find this on every single ship. As mentioned, grab yourself a drink, enjoy the sea days, or just enjoy the vibes. And sometimes they'll even do some trivia in here as well. And of course, deck number 6, all the way aft, we have a Oasis-Class favorite, the Boardwalk. As soon as you go through those sliding doors, you'll be greeted with some of the little wood carvings for the carousel. This kind of shows the progress as it's like a wooden block as you first start, and it goes all the way to a finished product at the end. And of course, off to our right-hand side, though, we have the Playmakers arcade section. And across from there, we have the Doghouse, if you want to grab yourself a hot dog here on Boardwalk. Of course, a Oasis-Class favorite, and no longer exclusive to the Oasis-Class, the Carousel now made its way over to the Icon class as well. Check out our tour of Star of the Seas as well at the end of this video. Sugar Beach, the candy store, they even have some cotton candy being made outside here today, which is really neat. But treat your sweet tooth to some candy and grab some here at Sugar Beach. If you love the sports bar vibes and it's game day, definitely come on to Playmakers and grab yourself some wings and a beer and enjoy the game here on the Boardwalk. Boardwalk is also home to the kids shop. This is where you'll find more Royal Caribbean merchandise, but more kids sizes. So you'll even find some of the ship models in here, but more just smaller size clothing for the kids. Right next door to there, we have a Royal Caribbean favorite. A 50s themed diner is Johnny Rockets. Grab yourself some onion rings, maybe some fries, and a burger. And if you happen to have one of the drink packages here with Royal Caribbean, your milkshakes are actually included in that. And of course, here we finally have the bottom of the Ultimate Abyss letting out on deck 6 aft here on board Utopia of the Seas. So you're going and twisting down 10 decks, all the way down to right in front of the Aqua Theater, home to Aqua 82, a follow-up to Aqua 80 found on board Oasis of the Seas. This is also home to the rock climbing walls. There's one on each side of the ship. That'll do it for the boardwalk, so let's skip 5 since we've already been there and move down to deck number 4 where we'll find Utopia Station. This is a exclusive to Utopia of the Seas. This is a train railway themed restaurant. It is quite expensive at $120 per person, but a really cool theming as it's like you're going through different sceneries throughout the train, and there's even shows going on up and down the aisles, which is really neat. And now moving on forward, of course, we have the Casino Royale. If you'd like to do some gambling here on board the cruise, whether it be slot machines, blackjack, or poker, come on down to Casino Royale and do all that gambling as much as you want. And of course, even has a casino bar with the bartenders coming around to you throughout the casino. Down on deck number 4, we'll also find Studio B. Actually, when filming this, they actually had the laser tag going, which was really neat. I've never actually seen that before, but this is home to, of course, the ice skating rink where this is all taking place, and of course, the ice skating shows seen here. In a recent update to Utopia of the Seas, right outside of Studio B, we're also back in the casino, but this is actually a non-smoking portion of the casino outside of Studio B. And last but certainly not least, we have the Royal Theater, home to the production show here on board the ship. And since the comedy was removed from the non-smoking casino, they are also holding comedy shows here in the Royal Theater as well. Thank you all so much for joining me on today's tour of the beautiful Utopia of the Seas. If you'd like to book your next cruise on board Utopia, or just any ship in general, as mentioned earlier, use that link down in the description below, as using that link will directly support the channel. And of course, if you did enjoy today's tour, leave a like down below and subscribe if you're new to the channel and you'd like to follow along all the upcoming Utopia of the Seas videos from my 3 days on board this incredible ship. Thank you again for watching today's tour, and we'll see you next time.